Na developer sasa tuongelee Vita designer na project manager.
Yeah, so there's that conflict between the developer and the designer, and yes, between the product manager and the designer.
We started here, like you are building this product, and what could be the MVP?
Have this amount of time, and this is what we need to build. Chantel, these are our requirements. Stick to them. If it's MVP, I have told you before it's MVP. If it's not an MVP, then these are the scope of our requirements. Her concern was inclusivity.
Yes.
Hey, yes. Inclusivity, not inclusiveness. And she has a valid point that autistic people would have a rough time interacting with this app because it is very colorful, because you want to go to market fast, test it fast, fail fast, all of those things that are mentioned in the startup world.
Hi and welcome back to Kenyan Design Conversations. I am your host, Kyendereta, and here we talk about everything design, everything work ethic, everything career growth. But niko na developers, so sometimes you also get to hear developer nuggets. Yeah. So we do have a host, like before our host, yes.
Mariga Elvis here. Na tuko na guest sasa leo. We have a guest.
I said host.
You said a host. We have a guest.
Lakini
anakaa host. Already anakaa host.
Hey.
Amesema flow ni yake.
Talk to us. Tell us who you are. We give you all bragging rights.
Yes. As always.
This is a conversation.
The moment has come. I've heard about bragging rights and how some people are humble in the introductions.
Yes, please don't be humble.
Let me see if I have enough accolades. So, my name is Simon Ndung. Simon. I am Kenyan. I am a product designer stroke project manager at Glitech Solutions. Yeah, so that is my professional title. I also do graphics design besides UI and UX and project management. Graduated in 2023 from Machakos University with a bachelor's degree in information and technology, and I have been doing product design since then. What else do you need in my introduction?
Ni mimi nilikuinterrupt na makofi, pole.
But you're very modest. I mean, you're not modest. Sijasikia ushaikunywa supu 5 liters ukamaliza. You get
Okay, sijai kunywa supu 5 liters nikamaliza.
Lakini unapenda supu?
Hapana.
Do you know why this is being thrown your way, sir?
You have soup. Mko na supu hapa.
Exactly.
You do?
Yes.
Okay, so you guys are in the same place. I was supposed to come. Supu, you could have served me soup. Ama ujipawa.
Next year tuna record live, tunakuwa na hiyo. Kwanza ujipawa, nitakuleta ujipawa. Tutarekodia base fulani kuna ujipawa.
Deal. We have a deal.
Yes. Sasa umesema upendi supu. Kumbe unapenda ujipawa. Ni sawa. Now you get it. Yeah, Simon the ujipawa guy.
Something thicker than soup.
So design world imekuaje?
Design world has been fun. I think still, as with everything, ups and downs. Let me start with at what point I got into design. So, nilikuwa Machakos Uni, and I was in CU, and I was in media and literature. There's a department that was called media and literature. So we used to do graphics design, projecting in services, live streaming, all of those things. So I had a background in graphics. Then there is this unit we did, I think in my second year in campus, DBMS, Database Management System. And the lecturer who was tutoring us in that required us to, at the end of that unit, do a website that does something that has a database. So we did. And the website I worked on was like a photographer's portfolio. So you would come and hire a photographer from there. So I got a comment from one of my friends who was really good at code or with code. And he said that my interface looks really good. I didn't think of it that way, but I had seen other people's interfaces, and I guess he was correct if he was judging based on other people's designs.
Wow.
Or how the interface would look. I can tell you are flattering me. So that was the first time I had a compliment on a design of a digital product that I had done. Fast forward to our last year. So we are submitting our projects. And because I was a fan of the front end part of web, I was doing mostly web. Mm-hmm. So JavaScript, HTML, and a lot of CSS. Mm. Because I was doing the front end side of it, and at one point we presented it to the rest of the class. So what every individual group was working on, I received even more comments about how my interface looked like. So because of my background in graphics and my experience with graphics, I had been intentional to make it like look branded. So it had the right colors, the right balance. I had worked on the interface design and styling myself, so it was looking really good. Actually, it's on my Dribbble account, my portfolio.
So utatuonyesha ama utanikani yake kwa description watu waelewe.
Okay. The link is in the description, people, listeners.
Yes, thank you.
So yes, that. Then later, a friend from home called me, or we were talking over Facebook actually before that call, and he was asking what I do in campus. I said IT. Oh, so you do IT? Okay. So what major are you pursuing after your course? And I said probably front-end development because of my graphics design background. And he asked, oh, so you can do design? And I said yes. Can you do UI and UX design? I said yes, even if I had not done like actual design. I had only coded the front end side. Mm-hmm. And so I agreed, and he said, okay, send me a sample of your work. I designed something in Illustrator. My first design was in Illustrator, guys. Yeah.
Wow.
It's been a journey.
Illustrator, how long ago was that?
That was back in 2022, because I graduated in 2023, and these happenings are at the end of my IT degree course, which was 2022, around November, December. Mm-hmm. So he asked for that sample. I sent it. He said, okay, not bad. Let me connect you with my product designer. So it turns out he had started this company, which is where I still work, Bleetech Solutions. You should check him out. He's a Gen Z CEO. His name is Vita. And he told me, let me connect you with Dani, the CPO and the solo designer at that time. And he will assign you a task. Then we see how you do it. If you're good, then you can come and join our team, or we can hire you for a project.
Wow.
So for you, it was a calling.
For me, was that pun intended? The call. Okay. It was, I don't know if I will say it was a calling. I guess things aligned. Graphics design meet IT background meet a person looking for a designer. So that's how I ended up in design. That's how I got myself into Glitech Solutions. Yeah.
Okay. Umesikia alikuwa na Gen Z CEO anaitwa Vita.
Tuko na yeye bado.
Sasa wacha. There's some coincidence. Mariga alikuwa mstep out kidogo. Wacha let me update him.
Yes.
Alafu kuna coincidence ingine. Hata una venye una design ukicode and then utaona notice design zako ni poa. He has a better story. Same story but his is better.
Wait. Mariga, you are away. You didn't get to hear that?
Imagine.
Oh man, that's the most emotional thing I have to say, guys, in this podcast. Mariga, where were you?
It was an emergency. I will have to listen and
listen before the release.
But at least napewa catch up session.
Okay, aendelee. Acha nisikie version yake.
Hiyo ingine ajitegemee.
Okay, so yeah, that's how I got into design. I've been doing that since I guess February of 2023. Graduated in April, then got into that contract around August after some contracts hapa na pale. Yeah, it's been God, maze. It's been God.
Wow. Ebu ngoja. Leo nafanya kazi yako.
Okay.
And then you were saying it wasn't a calling. You get it? It was a calling. Alafu namaliza umemaliza kila kitu in a good saying ni God, man.
Kubali tu.
Okay. Mnanipress kwa kona. Nipeni another one good reason why it's a calling. Maybe
by the time tumaliza, I think tutakuwa tumefind out whether it is or not.
Sawa. Yeah.
That's been Mr. Simon.
Yes, he has told us about the journey into design.
I actually love the fact that he's both a designer and a project manager. Like, how do you do that? Do you know I had to fight, not in a bad way, but we had to kind of kwaruzana with my PM. But now we are like the best of friends. Hapo. It took us a while to just understand each other and our roles and our goals. And I'm sure it's not just me. Kuna memes hapa nje za PMs ndio wanatusumbua vitu hizo. I will tell us how, and then where do you think the disconnect is
between PMing and designing?
Between sasa wewe unajua you're both. Uko nje you're both, so you understand both perspectives vizuri. Uko nje, like me, I'm just a designer. And my PM, but my PM was a designer before. Lakini mimi sijui hiyo, mimi kwangu yeye ni PM wangu. So what would you say?
Before Simon asema kitu, naweza sema like baby, nani acha nikuwe kama Simon. Naweza Simon ako na skills za design, and he also has the skills for PM. So the difference comes here. Him
pia graphics.
No, being a designer is just a designer. You can be a graphic designer.
Mariga, yes. You are popping my bubble. Nini?
Sawa, wewe ni graphic designer.
Yes.
Alafu sasa nitakuja unifunze graphics. Mnajaribu ku design graphics though. Anyway. Na trying ku design graphics.
Oh, okay. How is it going?
It's tough. It's tough on my end.
Okay.
But anyway, you see, like me, I can say like probably I want you maybe to explain it in depth, like how you found harmony in harmonizing the skills that a PM has, and the designer skills that you also have. How do you made it like harmonize them together to be like one product?
Okay, that's a good question, and I expected or anticipated that it would come up. So I guess a good place to start is from where Chantel left it at. There seems to be like a conflict between PM and design, and I think there is. There are a lot of memes about PMs.
Ongezea designer and developer.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. Yeah. Actually, now that you have mentioned that, kuna vita yangu mimi na devs wetu wa Glitech. It has been pending. Maybe tutamaliza nayo mwaka, but we are supposed to go to Kasarani Sports Stadium, fight, and let the best person win.
Saja nikuwa referee. Invite me as a referee.
If your background is design, you can referee. If it's not, I don't want to see you.
I'm both a developer and a designer, so I can be a good referee.
Wewe hapana, weka kwa bench.
I can be a good referee.
Weka kwa bench. I mean to referee. When in dev,
at least niko neutral.
Utakuwa biased.
At least niko neutral.
Not neutral. You are talking to me. If you are neutral and I have the option of picking Chantel, who I know mostly has
then that's biasness. You are leaning more to design and not being neutral.
I not approach this conversation.
Vita designer and developer. So Vita designer and project manager.
Yeah, so there's that conflict between the developer and the designer, and yes, between the product manager and the designer, and that mostly the latter, the designer X PM comes in because designers tend to get attached to their designs. It happens very often. Chantel, you can relate, yeah?
Stop naming names.
I know. Hey, okay.
It's like you're stabbed her back with a knife.
Someone had to say it.
Someone had to say it.
So we get attached to our designs very fast because we are getting those things from our creativity.
Mm-hmm.
And it's hard to detach that creative self from ourselves and to look at it objectively without sentiments. It's hard. Again, it took you effort. It took you that brainstorming. And you remember those moments when you had that breakthrough and you saw, oh wait, this concept can be represented in this way. And now PM comes and he wants you to kill that feature. There must be war. Someone is going down. So it can't be that easy. That conflict comes in. The person I learned from project management or product management is the CPO at Glitex. His name is Danny Mohu. And his background is also design and then that product management or leading products. So I got to see that model before me. We killed a lot of features, still a painful story until today. And we shipped some products. So I had seen how it works from him, and knowing that he's also a designer and he relates with the pain of killing some features, I know I can take his feedback. And another reason it's hard for designers to accept the feedback from PMs is because in some cases, PMs do not have a background in design. So maybe they learned project management, maybe they came from the developer side, they were promoted into PM. So there are a lot of those reasons. So when you have someone who relates with you as a designer, it's easier to pick that. So to Mariga's question, where the balance is, or
harmony,
reconciling hizo vitu mbili, right? So my background is design and I have been promoted to product manager. So actually it has not been a long time since then. It's been, I think, 3 months going.
Congratulations. Hiyo ngoja eburla.
Pigiwa makofi.
Ngoja to scream.
Hey, today must be my most fulfilling day. I feel like I have accomplished a lot.
You deserve
within our 20 minutes of this conversation.
But it's very true.
Ni ile wewe uonangi, sa uwezi measure.
Oh, okay. Spotlight on me. I understand.
Yes, exactly.
Lights on you today.
So, given that nimetoka from design and I have sort of learned the balance between we need to ship products, we need to code those things that I put in my Figma design and prototype, and I know the strengths and the abilities of the developers team that I'm working with. So the harmony comes in because I am considering all of these things. I can have a place for my creativity, have a place for me as a PM looking at this product. We have this amount of time, this length of time to ship this product, and this is the number of people that have been allocated into coding this product. So I am learning to get that balance, but mostly get the product done within the right time, meeting the requirements of the client. So the requirements are a really good thing because they mark the boundaries of what the product can be, what every feature can do or is. And you can afford to be creative, maybe to go beyond convention. For example, a client requested to have when you are submitting a review. So let me use Uber, for example, the closest example to mind. You are submitting a review of your driver. You mark the number of stars you are rating them.
Yes.
And his request was, instead of using the stars to rate, we can use something like a progress bar. So you slide based on your level of satisfaction. And I think Google has implemented that somewhere. So as a PM, I look at that as, okay, that's a nice creative feature, but how much time will that cost us? And at what expense will that be on my team? So if our deadlines are a priority, then we can go with the features that are available in these programming libraries, or the feature that won't take a lot of time, or one that we have built before that we can reuse some code in. So I have learned from a really good person in it. Nimeondoa feelings. I'm not taking design to heart, and I am learning that my priorities as a product manager are different from my priorities as a designer. But since I'm doing both, I also have a designer, a junior. I can strike the balance. So I'll cancel a feature from my Figma before I even bring it to the end of the prototype.
Royal Priest. Mimi, from everything you have said, nataka uambie Chantel kitu moja. There's a difference between building a product and having an MVP. You know, based on what you have said is, the client wants, me, I want this button to be clicked, and once a person clicks, it has done A, B, C, and D. But you as a designer, you look beyond that. You look like, yes, the end users click this button. You know, that designer would have the client the user supposed to feel this way after that and everything else. But they forget one thing. MVP is very important.
Yeah.
Yes. And that's why you feel like you being after what you have said, as in you being a PM, there are other things to consider. One of the things is timelines. Yes, we can enhance this, but have we achieved the first step? If yes, you have achieved the first step.
Yeah.
What next can we do after that? Sasa nataka upige Chantel Whips, umwambie unakonga na MVP na naelewe vita ya designer na project manager.
Chantel, I know this won't be easy for you. It's not easy for any designer. If you are designing MVPs, you are the creative type, that's a heart being broken. Let me continue. I must persist in this path. Acha niseme initoke. So, what was I saying? The breaking of that heart distracted me. Oh yeah, MVP.
Yes.
this comes back to an attachment with your design, the product you have designed and how you are designing it. So you have been assigned a project, and it has triggered that curiosity, that sense of, hey, I'm enthusiastic to do this. I have a lot of ideas. Some things are coming to mind. You already are visualizing some things, some concepts that you will implement.
Yes, then, every time.
What you are doing is an MVP. And yes, an MVP is defined by the requirements and the scope of those requirements and the other things that are maybe extra design, vitu kama the go-to-market strategy, the way it will be rolled out, the way it will be monetized, if it will. Most MVPs are not yet at monetization level. But when you have received those requirements as a designer, your mind goes into design mode. So you don't care whether it's an MVP or it's a fully fledged product, or you're just improving an iteration. Okay. So when you look at it that way, you will bring in some concepts that are not feasible within MVPs. Of course, MVPs have a budget limit and they have a time limit because you want to go to market fast, test it fast, fail fast, all of those things that are mentioned in the startup world. So if you are doing an MVP and you are the designer in this case, if you will not see it as an MVP and that there might be a chance to build the product later, then you will have that conflict with the PM because the timelines will be stricter, the budget will be stricter, the scope will maybe be limited. You have to remain within every requirement that you have received. So I guess it becomes a bit harder if you are working on an MVP. But I guess it should excite you because you get to work on the version that will be released to test a hypothesis. That to me is exciting. So the fact that it is you who will work on it, and if it fails, partly because of maybe your design, and if it succeeds, credits also to you. So it's not all rough, but as long as you're a designer and you like what you're doing, an MVP won't be easy.
Chantel has something to say. Before she says it, ni sawa. Unaona like probably designers wakipewa MVP, wamepewa kazi kidogo. Kidogo. Anyway, they put it at heart, so they have to do more. Okay, Chantel, with no further ado.
Chantel.
Nani attack from both ends, ni sawa.
No further ado.
Chantel, have you worked on MVPs before? How has your experience been in that?
I can tell you.
Me, I don't think.
I can tell you for a fact. I gave her a very simple application. Not I gave her. She gave me that simple application. She even posted it on LinkedIn. And then she wanted it to be so complex, and I told her, no. Yes, it's okay. It's a product. It's okay. But let's do this. Let's achieve first this. You get like let's achieve this first. Lakini sawa. Ataendelea kutoka hapo. Attacking from both sides.
Nimetaka kusema nimetaka kuambia, nilikuwa nataka kuuliza nini, sasa unanianika on air, and then nikajiambia wachaongee kitu imtoke.
Sawa, achaongee.
Anyway, I do get it. I do get it. My question sasa would be, sometimes it might be hard to actually differentiate an MVP from you. Like, who nadhani ni MVP na si MVP? What's the, where do you draw the line?
Okay, if your PM did a good job, that should not be hard to tell.
Okay, sasa tuachane na PM. Kuna watu wanakuja as a full package. Watu wanakuja as a full business. So hao wenyewe they are their own project managers. Kumanisha they can also get it wrong when it comes to the MVP and the build product thing.
So in this case, are you referring to an individual client or a founder who comes to you and pitches an idea to you, anataka design yake, or an organization?
Based on your response, I think you have you have an answer for both, so you can explore on both.
Okay. Let's start with founders. I have been very privileged to work in a company that was at one point very focused on building for founders. Actually, our should I call it a theme or our motto or something? The title on our homepage, glitechsolutions.co.ke, is to build for, I think, 1 million plus founders or builders or visionaries, something like that. So we focus on building with founders. Then at one point, we also prioritize the projects that come from organizations, established businesses. So yes, I have something I can say on both. Starting with founders, the founder is the probably, this is a heavy word, but worst person that you can get requirements for an MVP from.
What are jokes?
Ukweli. Walai.
Founder.
You know why? Let me explain. I can explain. Acheni niongee. The reason is, the founder thought of this crazy idea, revolutionary, the next Facebook. They thought of it maybe while they were walking on a Saturday, relaxing on a vacation, maybe during a Christmas break, or it has been in their mind for a long time. I want to build this product. It will do this and this. I will monetize it in this way. It will be adopted faster than Facebook or TikTok or ChatGPT or Threads. So they have this grandeur image of what the product will become.
Yeah.
Another thing,
yes,
unless they have a background in project management, where they know that we can divide this thing into phases. First, let's test the hypothesis that this is something that people want and that it is solving a particular problem that I have identified after talking to people. So it should start from there, that you identify a problem, you validate that that problem exists, that it is faced by enough people for it to be built as a product. They don't have another way of solving that problem, and that you can reach them, and probably that they are willing to pay for that solution. So that's where it should start. Most founders don't go into that direction, and that's one of the mistakes that people make, and their startups fail. So we have a lot of startups in the graveyard because of that simple mistake, not talking to people, validating your hypothesis, your problem statement in simple terms. So when you are that founder and you didn't go through that route, you will look for a designer and you'll tell them, hey, I need an app that does this. So let's use, for storytelling purposes, let's pick an idea. Mariga, give us your startup idea.
Startup idea?
Yes, tutumia for this.
Startup idea.
Yeah.
Ndio hii sasa.
Wait, ambia watu you're speaking as a founder.
I'm speaking as a founder.
Mariga the founder.
Mariga the founder. I've realized like a lot of people have disconnected from nature. So I want to bring nature close to them. So it's much easier. Like where Simon is seated right now, he probably has a table somewhere. We can put a plant that can live there. A plant that is very suitable. Kuka kwa hiyo meza yake ita bring more ambience. Na iko na little, you can water it like once in a week and you forget about it.
It depends on the plant and the person.
Yes. So I want to bring that closeness to the people, like how people can buy plants based on where they can put it and they can manage it easily. Kuna plant unaweka nje, kuna plant itaka kwa nyumba, kuna plant inahitaji sunshine like but I want people to buy it, and then like us talking about climate change and everything. That's one way of doing that. Probably watu wanaweza kula hiyo inaitwa carbon credits.
Oh yeah, carbon credits.
Yes, mimi ka founder nataka hiyo ndio product nataka kupeleka kwa soko. Yes.
You want it to be a digital product?
Yes.
Okay. I think that's a good idea. I don't know if you're describing Chantel's workstation, but we'll skip that for now. Okay. So, you want to build that concept into a digital product and bring it to people?
Yes.
Yes. So, is that a problem that you or someone else is facing?
Ni shida zenye watu wa kidosi wana face.
So your addressable market. Okay. Do you think that the solution of a digital product is the most ideal way that they can solve this problem?
I'm not sure.
Okay, so you're not sure. You want to find out whether a digital product can solve this, right?
Yes.
So, what is a better approach? Coming to me as a designer uniambia nikutengeneze an app, or coming to me requesting for a prototype that you can go to people's homes and pitch them and tell them, hey, I have this app, or I have this website, or I have this Figma prototype, or I have these sketches, because an MVP can be any of those, or a low-code, no-code tool, which is actually something else we do at Glitex. Hey, today is marketing day for Glitex.
You are a marketer. Yes, you are a product. You are a project manager. Sasa marketing is part of it.
If you are a graphics designer, you are a marketer.
Yeah,
by
sure.
default, you have to be.
You have to be.
So, is it a better approach to come to me, ask me to design you something that I will charge you for, or you can look for some people, those rich friends who are facing that problem according to how you think, and ask them if they are facing that problem, and if they are, ask them how they solve it, or how the solutions they have tried, why they are not working, and whether your approach, if you notice that the problem cannot be solved in the ways that they solve it, or they haven't thought of it in that way, so maybe it's not an actual problem that needs to be solved. So which one is better, coming to me or going to them and talking to them?
So I've talked to some. So here is the problem.
Okay.
I came to find out, we live every day. We forget to connect back to nature, because in the morning you wake up, probably kama uko na gari utaingia kwa gari, kama uko na bike utaingia kwa gari, au kwa bike. Kama utakaona pana manyanga utaingia kwa manyanga, unaona? Au utaangalianga mti fulani kumbe hiyo mti ilikata. You get you can't relate with that. But imagine you showing out like, hey, kumbe kuna plant fulani inaweza kaa tu kwa table yako na iko sawa. You get.
Mariga, why do you need, in simple terms, sorry, let me interrupt you. Why do you need a digital product? Where does it come in?
It comes in showing someone visually like, like,
or you can get this product and you can station it at your place.
Yes.
You can
explore
varieties.
Yes. And the only way you can do that, and it won't be way expensive, is showing it digitally.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, totally. I get it now. So the question was, what was the original question? Where did we start?
We started here. Like you are building this product, and what could be the MVP? No.
Okay.
Yes.
So you have validated that this is an actual problem that people are facing. You have talked to people, and the cost-benefit analysis you have done, that is the cost of time and effort and money that you will incur to build this can be or will be compensated by the return. So maybe they will pay to purchase, or they will, or the people who post those products, if you'll open it up to the public, they will pay to post there or to have those posts sponsored or ads, something like that. So you have validated that can actually happen.
Yes.
So an MVP in this case could be probably a website before an app, or a Figma prototype. Okay. When you use Figma, the pro version of Figma, it has these features that give it the power to act as if it has a database. So you can actually have a cart that you can interact with, you can increment products, you can increment the products you have added to favorites. You can interact with it as if it's basically like a low-code tool, but now just designed. So if you have that prototype on Figma, it is enough for you to now take it maybe to even more people beyond the test group that you had used to validate your hypothesis or to verify that. So an MVP can be many things. Depending on your budget and maybe the complexity of your idea, it can be sketches that you have drawn that you can show from this screen, you will go to this screen, this is what you'll be doing on this screen. And the overall story is that you solve this problem. It can be sketches, wireframes, it can be a Figma prototype. You can use other prototyping tools, or you can do low code. And the highest level you can get with this is that you actually get it coded and installable. So from a designer's perspective, if you give me that to design, I can decide that I also want it to be visualized using AR. You know, that you have your camera on from the app. So we build an app for it. Alafu you select which plant you want to visualize on your workstation, and you are using the AR feature to see how it would look like. But that is not MVP. That is way too much. So the scope of an MVP. Mm-hmm.
But when you say AR, you know, like AR, a lot of people don't know about augmented reality.
Okay.
So
okay. Simply put, AR is augmented reality. It is let me call it a technology that helps you through the use of a screen to overlay virtual items in a real world or natural environment. So if you put up your camera app, now you are recording the environment around you. So you have seen how there are these stickers, maybe on TikTok or Snapchat or Instagram, or even some camera apps have those features. You can add a mustache to Chantel, I'm sorry. This is the last time.
It's okay.
You Snapchat.
I don't do that. Let's give this persona a name. Let's call her Agnes. Give her
Agnes.
a mustache.
Agnes. So Agnes wants to send someone a photo of her with a mustache, maybe for a conversation they are having on WhatsApp. And she gets her phone, goes to Snapchat, and she overlays through a filter a mustache on her face, or glasses, or a hat. So what Snapchat has done is overlaid a virtual item on Agnes, who is a real world person. So that's what AR is. You can simulate an environment by adding some virtual items to an existing environment. Mariga, does that explain AR?
Yes, 100%.
So if we decide to incorporate AR into our app, into that app, so let's say we have moved beyond, or you have come to me and I have told you, we need an app. I didn't tell you prototype, I didn't tell you sketches, I didn't tell you a website. I told you an app. And because I'm a designer, I'm excited to have those features, and maybe they can only work on an app. I will give you these great ideas about what it can become. So if a founder is coming to a designer with an idea, chances are they have inflated the idea themselves, unless they know that they can break this whole project into phases, that we can do MVP, validate the idea, add features until at one point we arrive at a fully fledged product. So that is the founder side. If the founder comes to a designer, they will have a lot of requirements. Maybe at a designer atawambia, okay, this is too much. Tunaweza anza na hii. If you're good at convincing people, maybe you can get them to buy in on that. Let's switch to an organization. An organization, no, because they have product managers and project managers, that we can start with an MVP, or we can start with features and iterate as we increment it. So it's easier to work on an MVP. It's easier to know that this is an MVP that an organization needs and build them that or design them that than know that from a founder. Because founders fall in love with their ideas, just like designers fall in love with their creative ideas. And if both of them are excited, they will come up with something that is totally not an MVP. An MVP is a minimum viable product, and most of the use need to validate a hypothesis.
Aki mi nacheka manze, umespit. Yani you've given us a great insight, lakini kitu nafanya nacheka. Ngoja siwezi kubali kwanza. Lakini ukweli ni hii. Chantel, she's a designer,
yeah,
and then she's a founder. She's a designer and then she doesn't understand MVP ni nini, and then she's a founder. Imagine she can't relate MVP ni gani.
Yo, area combination.
Ebu pigwa whips.
How did that just happen?
Ikawa ile sound effect ya anaitangwa
Yo.
Yo ile ya, what is his name? Kyendereta. Mariga. What is this name? Inapotea. Founder Wire Africa. Wire Africa. Agent, bearded, and advising you wanaume.
Wow. Let's talk about target market. Let's talk about, because personally, I have not understood what you have said.
Acha na Google.
Na ukigoogle, mimi niko na swali. So someone
and
has
asked give. Ile vipi ya kibe iko wapi?
Awesikia kwanza. Mtu tunaongelea target market. I don't know even ningemjibu, but I want to hear from you.
Sawa.
So kuna post nilikuwa nimepost hapa, like repost with my thoughts. My employer post up yetu online, and I was like, I'm glad I worked on this. Couldn't have done it with my team. So amekuja ananiambia commendable work, Chantel. Anakuja ananiambia commendable work, Chantel. I have some pointers to share too. And then anaanza, been in-depth research on human-centered thinking. What overall performance do we share with every kind of human? Sijui anekeka koma, sasa sijui alikuwa anaongeaje, lakini I'm trying. I've learned on use of color and how much effect it carries to different users, and overall it's an elemental factor we miss out to consider. For instance, autistic people get triggered a lot with the amount of color displayed on their end. How best can we improve our designs to include such parties despite their low volumes? Food for thought. Now, to create here application, we had a specific target audience. But it's not that he does not raise like nataka kumwambia hivyo, but I feel like it will sound cocky considering all he wants to do is just to know, okay, if maybe autistic kind of people, I need to show you the post by the way. It's a very colorful apps kudangani. Nakutumia sai WhatsApp. So you have your phone?
Yes.
Akipoleni tunakuanga audio. Sijali tutamoka tu tuweke video alafu tutapostianga hapo hiyo link. But in the meantime, I think we will post it kwa description, sindio?
Yeah.
Anyway, let me just send it to you real quick. share with, yes.
We can do a collection of the resources that we will cite here and just have that one link that goes to all of those
All
items.
of them.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Ndio hiyo. But just look at those screenshots zilikuwa zimepostiwa na kampuni because they were trying to like get people excited. We are having a launch, I think on Tuesday, I'm guessing.
Okay.
From today, from the time we are recording this.
This is
so if I look at them, and I'm like, but if I do tell him about target audience, inakaa ni kama natetea kampuni or natetea design zangu, but that's just the actual truth because while I didn't ask about autistic people kabisa, I did really try to learn about our users. Our target audience are not, well, I'm sorry I won't say this, but yes, like we did as a team understand our target audience, really try and perfect it for them. Awase wengine, they end up becoming just users if they do decide to use our, si wanasemanga kuna end user, alafu kuna user. So end user is the person you actually intended it for. And then kuna your user who happened to find it and liked it. So still a win for us both because they do like it. Una get point, ungemjibu aje for someone sasa, like how do we consider these autistic people and all? Ebu angalia, si umeona post?
Yeah, naona post.
Aya. Na umeona comment?
Okay. Her concern was inclusivity.
Yes.
Yes. Inclusivity, not inclusiveness. And she has a valid point that autistic people would have a rough time interacting with this app because it is very colorful and there is this other term. If it comes to mind, I'll mention it. But let's deal with colors. So it is very colorful and detailed. So it has this a lot of details because it has like a space theme. So there are stars around the gradient background, all of these things. So she has a valid point.
Yes.
Saimo.
Lakini ni game.
Saimo.
Tuanzie
Ni game.
Saimo.
Ni game.
Saimo.
Yes.
Before you go there, umejiweka kwa shua nani? End user ni nani? End user ni mtu ako autistic ama end user ni mse, is a normal person. Naona.
Yeah.
Umejiweka kwa shoe gani? Ukiweza ni explain ya in both shoes. Ita make more sense.
So in both shoes, in Chantel's shoes and in the founder's shoes.
In Chantel's shoes, in the founder's shoes, in that guy's shoes as
a normal person,
or maybe an autistic. He might be autistic, or he might know autistic people. He's just done this before. Amesema ametufanyia research. There are a couple of perspectives to this.
Okay.
Yes.
This one sounds broad. Let me try to simplify it.
Yes.
So let's start with the founders because that's like the most weighty part of this whole thing. The founder anticipates that some of the people who will sign up to use the platform might be autistic and that others won't be autistic. They will have an easy time with it. Say she's not building an MVP. This is the final product. Chantel, can you clarify that? Is this MVP or the final one?
It's MVP.
Okay, MVP. So if it's MVP and it's built to validate the hypothesis, then there is something called a test group. Yeah, I think it's a test group. A test group is the people that you bring together so that you can use them to test your hypothesis. So it is them who will interact with the MVP and maybe the beta version, the pre-release, that version, the one that you put out before the final one is done and ready for mass adoption. So when you are forming that test group, you consider some things, and part of that, the considerations you make is inclusivity. You try to be as broad with the kind of people that you anticipate will be the end users, and include some kind of representation for them in the test group, so that the feedback you get from the test group is somewhat representative of the end users and what they would say if you tested it with 1 million people. The test group might be 10, 15 people or thereabout.
Test group. Like, see, mi ndo nakwambia mi naelewa users wetu and everything, because there are things my PM just makes sure we go through, you see. He just makes sure we na tunafanyanga na tunajaribu tunaiterate every once in a while. So yeah, we do have like a specific task group. But for this concerned person, as an autistic person, I'm just thinking, nini tungefanya different? Imagine, okay, let me ask it differently. I'm a designer, and I will be pretty honest with you.
Yep.
Me unaona venye nilikuwa naelewa users wetu from what I hear from our stakeholders, from my team members, yeah. Ndio nilielewa. I didn't even decide to wipanua. I was working within deadline, so I just worked with what I had, and I dug deep into what I had. I honestly didn't think about, when it came to accessibility, I didn't think about was like the deaf, and then we talked about it, and then we blah blah blah. So again, tunatoa tu MPP and all, but I will say that part is like he's been very specific, autistic kind of people. So maybe people with neuro development disorders.
Yeah.
Like, tungefanyaje? What would we have done differently?
Okay, given that it is a game and games have a lot of details, it is rarely do you find a minimalist design game, unless it's Duolingo. I call Duolingo a game that you play and you earn points by learning a language. So to me, it's a game. So it is very, a game. Yeah, it is very minimalistic. Most of these other games are not minimalistic. They have a lot of colors, a lot of details. In such a case, maybe what you could have done is benchmark with, through research, other apps and maybe how they handled the case of autism. Other apps that are games or other apps that are really detailed. Chances are you will have to compromise and lean with what you came up with. So this might be a matter of getting her to see the point than change the design, because you want a game to feel like a game and look like a game. You know, the look and feel. That has to be met because it's a game. And there are design trade-offs that come with that. And part of that will be that it might not be accessible to everyone. And if it will be, then you will have to reduce the details that I need, the colors. If that's a trade-off she is willing to make, given that she's also the founder, you will give your perspective on that to her as a designer, and the PM will also do the same. So this is a matter of mostly communication rather than changes to the design, because it's a game, it's detailed as games should be. It is built with the consideration of the feedback you received from your test group, which she maybe is also aware of. So that's what I would say. It's a matter of communication. Just get her to see the point and decide whether the trade-off of details and the look and feel is something that she is willing to bear as the founder.
Oh, I think, so you're saying if the client is happy, they're happy. But anyway, I do get that point. I also do see where you do say, at a point where you're considering autistic people, just look through other applications, right? That's the autistic people. That's what you said.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or you can include an autistic person in your test group and get their feedback.
Oh really? Yeah, I never thought of that. I can let me try do that. I can find autistic people.
Yep.
Wow. If you know any, just send them my way, please.
If you know any, I can take you to a school.
not a school. Our application. Okay, I'll tell you the requirements.
Sawa.
Not a school, Jamani, surely.
No, as in to get
it's
to the end
for
use.
Adults,
Again for adults.
Yeah.
See, it's a school for adults.
Oh, sawa tutenda.
Anyway, me as a developer sijui chenye mnaweza niletea naweza watengenezea. Sawa.
Mfanyia tafuta lingi tumefanya.
These are the struggles we go through.
Yeah.
These are like the struggles. The designer.
Okay, kuna designer ni sawa. Na kuna product designer. Unaona product designer amefikiria business needs. Amefikiria end users needs. Unaona?
Yeah.
Yeye atahitaji maybe any designer ni sawa ata design, but pia kama anahitaji designers he ata instruct designers what to do, exactly what is needed in the market and in the business perspective.
Yeah.
Sasa developer kwa aje si to implement everything, ana decision hapo katikati.
Unafaa kuwa na say. Unafaa ku design kitu unaweza develop, cause pia tuna run na time. Unaniambia Chantel, cheki Chantel kitu haiwork hivyo tu.
Akusema hiyo ni sawa, hiyo haiwork. Unaona haiwork, but the business goal and the user goal it lazima ikuwe achieved.
Na si hata unajua hivyo,
lakini lazima ikuwe.
This is exciting. I will cut you short. This is exciting. That's you guys are without knowing role playing how interactions between designers and developers go.
Yes.
So I have interrupted you because I'm also role playing product manager.
Yes, our PM.
Chantel, calm down and Mariga, we hired you because you can do a good job, or yes. Can't you?
Perfect.
Good. You have this amount of time and this is what we need to build. Chantel, these are our requirements. Stick to them. If it's MVP, I have told you before it's MVP. If it's not an MVP, then these are the scope of our requirements. This is the amount of time that we have. And on the design part, for you to come up with the design until prototype, this is the length of time you have. Beyond that, it will just be consultation with Mariga, and Mariga has this amount of time. So these are the things we cannot compromise on. But on this, because it's a code-intensive feature, we might need to revise our timelines here. So we'll take this approach because it will accomplish the same thing, but it will take a shorter amount of time. Chantel, design it in correct this design. Let's have it in this way. We'll still achieve the same thing. Mariga, will this work within that time? Done.
Yes.
So kitu kayo.
You may calm down. That was efficient. You're really a good project manager, by the way.
Oh, thank you. That's nice coming from someone we have interacted with in a lengthy conversation for the first time.
Wow. Okay.
But
I did calm down, by the way. I did calm down.
Oh, you did calm down.
I did calm down. It was an honest conversation we were having. I did calm down. I did think about the timeline, the fact that we only asked for requirements, and then I just took a step back. Okay, yes, I might have ideas, but we can do that after the MVP. Yeah, I did calm down. That really worked.
Oh wow!
I'm going to show us your ways. Show project managers your ways. Hey.
Mariga, what's your side of the story? Was that good enough for you?
Yes, very good enough. Very good enough. Me, I've interacted, as in I've been in this position. I've been being a team leader, designer, na the developer. Na me mwenyewe nimeinteract na designer as a developer.
So you've seen this before.
So yes.
Okay, nice to be resourceful.
Yeah.
So,
but anyway,
yep.
But me na fry venye you have gotten to to get the harmony between the project manager, the designer and the developer.
At least say Mariga akisema watu wanapigana or something. Wataelewa what we mean. Mariga anashindanga akisema Vita designers and developers isiwaisha. Lakini enyewe zikiisha project managers watafanya nini we? Exercise your fighting rights.
Yes. You all need to continue fighting.
Because if like it becomes like a trigger. When that fight happens, you find at the end of the day the product you're shipping to the market, it's a good product.
Yes.
Sure.
Teamwork.
Yes.
I think a good PM can make sure at the end of the day we're all just a team, even if we fight.
Yes.
Credits to my PM. Penye yuko.
What's his name or her name?
His name is Frank. I'll just leave it at that. Akikubali nisha who he is, I will. If he doesn't, atabaki Frank. Mtajukanga tu mkijua hivyo.
Okay. Shout out also to my PM.
You have a PM. I thought you were the PM. Shout out to you.
PM, like he manages me.
Oh, okay.
The CPO. So the CPO, his name is Danny Mohu Njenga. The CEO is Peter. Love the team, the devs. I can mention all of them, but I won't go into that.
Just mention them. Ndio wapate reason ya kusikia episode nini.
Nice. So the chief of tech is Glenn. Good job. Good brainstorming and really fast on execution. Then there is the person who does justice to my UIs. His name is Benja. And there is also Patrick. He also is a front-end developer. We have Wrightson, we have Chege, we have Mesh for Meshak. We have Brayo, we have Stefan. Let me see. If I miss someone, this will be really terrible on me.
Wallahi, people like making like apps and all. Standing ovation.
There's also Brian and Msewetu are testing, anaitwa Rufus. Then my designer, his name is Richard. And our marketer, her name is Mora. She is the best. She's pure energy. She's awesome. So that is like everyone.
Okay, nice. Collectively, when we are wote.
Kama mbogi yani.
Yes, the team is family, man.
BTech solutions to the world.
Yay! What do you guys do?
Oh, okay, that's a good question. We build digital products, and we build for founders and for established businesses, whether you are local or you are global. So we have some global, won't go into details. We have some that are local, some founders, and some businesses. So our service line includes the mobile app development, which is like the core of our involvement, our activities. That will come with a dashboard, probably a website. We do low code, no code development, especially for founders and MVPs. We are also venturing into AI so that we can integrate that into the products. We do SEO. Actually, I must say this thing. I must say this. It must initoke. Do a search. Do a search right now. Do a search. Google. Right now. I dare you. Hata sita control.
Tunashare screen hata, lakini najua watu. Leo ni yangu ya Mariga na yako. Pole kwa.
Dear listener, please from Spotify switch over to your Google Chrome tab and search best mobile app developers in Kenya. No, go ahead.
See? Oh my God, I'm so excited.
Scroll beyond the compilations of Akina top 10
Do he
Who is number 3? Who is number 3?
Susome ndio hii Solutions Limited. Susome kwa sauti ndio hii. Who is number?
Tech Solutions Limited. Nimenyamaza. Kwani uone nimenyamaza sasa?
Hadi hapo kiko chini yao. Imagine.
That is how good we are, guys. That is how good we are. And that's also how good we are with SEO. Yes, we deliver on products, but we also do a good job with SEO. Another reason to get your SEO done by Tech Solutions. I could continue, but yeah, and we also have fun. That's not in the services, but it's somewhere.
As KDK, yeah, we want you to invite us to your office.
One of those fun events.
And those fun events, yes.
Yeah. As PM, I can organize.
Thank you.
Atwezi mind, asante sana.
Mazita, it has been very, very awesome. Lakini kuna kitu moja Saimaja tuambia.
We've just been invited to events. Kwani hebu take a moment. Let us see. Juzi tumekuwa tunaongelea events we don't get invited to. Asante sana Simon. We are waiting to come.
Tunangoja kukuja.
Yes. Nita make sure tumeweka kwa guest list.
Nitakuletea tisho ya KDK.
Kweli?
Wallahi.
Usifanye ni organize event juu ya hiyo. Me and branded t-shirts.
Yes.
Hapa. Kwanza with that green ya KDK. I've recently fallen in love with green, so yeah.
Green is
Mariga, you were saying something.
Yes. I was saying like imekuwa fiti. Like
you are wrapping up.
I'm not wrapping up. I'm just bringing a new conversation in a wrapping up way.
You are okay, I see what you did there. Before you bring a new conversation in a in a different way. If we had time, or maybe in a later episode,
not a later episode. Mm-hmm. Not on a later episode. As in you being in a Kenyan conversation community, yeah. Mm-hmm. We are inviting you back. As in, kwanza ya leo unajua hujaambia watu kweli.
You didn't even told us a quarter of what you wanted to tell us.
Exactly.
Ni sisi tumeshinda tumeuliza maswali. Like next
time. Okay, your questions are really good.
Yes, you know people, you know, like you find most of the based on what you listened, based on Spotify Wrapped, we came to know like most of the people are listening to us in newbies into design. You get you have been in design long enough. You have been a project manager and everything else, but you know, like all what you've been doing since you started up to now, you can't say it. Like Leo Malize.
Can't compress it in one episode,
Exactly. So that's why I'm saying you being in the community. Kesho huko, kesho kutotakuwa. Na ni hivyo tu. And then we get to build them.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. And another thing we came to realize is like in our ecosystem right now, most of us we are self-taught. Ulikuwa kampo ndio graduate kapata degree. Sidhani hizi skills zote za uko na spita hapa nje zilikuwa related, as in they were not like literally, you know, like
they were not there. Mariga, I did IT, and actually a lot of things are coming to mind. In simple terms, some time ago nilianza ku train watu on design, nikaita School of Design. I'll add more effort into that come next year. I have, I think, 4 students that I've been tutoring on design. And the reason I did that is so that I could come up with a curriculum of product design or UI and UX design and maybe share that in campuses. Because I did IT and there is nothing UI UX that is in the IT curriculum. Over to you.
You're right. So do you think if we could decide to create a curriculum on UI UX,
yes,
you follow through?
And the 4 people that I am this is kind of me bragging. The 4 people that I'm training. So I am also kind of a founder. The 4 people that I'm training come up with the curriculum with are like my test group or my MVP group. See what I did there?
Hey, Sipole past. Hey, we sorry guys.
Show us your way. Make us go carpet, sir.
The royal priest. Ni sawa. Na hujatuambia kuhusu hiyo story. Hiyo story tutatuambia kwa next episode. Royal priest litokaje? Mbona ni royal priest?
Tutakuwa na hosting conversation.
Yes.
Ama malizia ukituambia. Sawa, next time.
Hiyo lazima ndio itampatia psyche ya kusema inafaa ikuwe kesho kama
nezi kwa sasa ya kurudi. Priest unaweza kwa sasa ya kurudi.
Kwanza I have a catch for listeners who got to this far. I hope akukuwa na chan hapo katikati. This has been fun for all of us. So some things we can consider in a little conversation apart from kuelezea mahali royal priest inatoka. Ni I have become should I say fanatic? Is that what you become when you are fascinated by something? I don't know. But I have become very fascinated with gamification in digital products. And my benchmark is Duolingo, so I am doing some research chini ya maji to...
You and I both, we should team up.
Oh, you do?
Yes, very much so.
Oh, okay. You are benchmarking with Duolingo ama with which application maybe?
A lot of them.
But Duolingo is one of them. Like gamification is really dope.
Yeah, gamification is so good.
The gamification is on point. Mpaka they get cheapers. Those guys
there's so much to talk about in gamification, and it will get us really excited. Yeah, ni kama inahitaji an episode on it by itself. So
it does. When wacha tuongea nyuma turns.
Kuna gamification ya Duolingo that I think is the best app in the world. I'm not taking questions or comment on that one. It is done. TikTok is also gamified. YouTube, all of those things.
Oh my god. YouTube is gamified. Juzi Instagram inaniambia ati nime earn badges for I'm like, we earn badges for making it for a couple of posts these days. Also gamification is becoming a big thing.
Reward.
Dopamine. Tapping into enemy. Yo, let's wrap this
Gamification. We are coming for that. It looks like a good.
So we can talk about gamification. We can talk about the conversation between teams as PM from PM's perspective. Although it's I'm still also learning in that, but I have a few things I have learned. And maybe something else we can talk about is what else? Storytelling and UX writing. UI writing, UX writing.
Oh my god, storytelling.
Storytelling has been around a little bit.
I think you and us just need a different series of just
storytelling.
No, not just storytelling. Like he's just talking about the topics I have seen. Sasa si utabook tu hizo nini and then tuzipange hizo slots.
If I am invited to, who am I to deny the opportunity?
You're already invited to. So I think that's a yes.
Perfect. Thank you. Can I give my vote of thanks now?
Yeah, you can.
Something else. I have said what I wanted to say, so any one of us can go.
Okay.
So me?
You know, vote of thanks yako.
Okay. Sasa I was waiting to hear kama any of you has something to say before my thanks.
You just talk to us. You're the guest here, you forget.
Okay. So it has been fun having this conversation. I don't know why I was tensed, but you guys have a way of calming someone down. I would be listening to... I work from home. Oh, we can also talk about working from home. But I work from home and I have podcasts playing in my background. And let me flatter you kidogo. I am not a Spotify sana person. I am mostly on YouTube. So
Yes.
given that I am a subscriber to KDK,
Thank
do
you.
you want to guess who topped up my podcast, my Spotify Wrapped podcast list?
You don't say. Oh my God.
I took a screenshot. I knew I can't send this. Let me keep it, but I'll share it.
Asante
KDK
sana,
was
that warms my heart. You're invited officially to KDK's birthday party. It's very exclusive.
nice.
I don't know if you'll make it.
I
It's going to be a Sunday. I'll give you the details later.
Oh, okay. I will bring a green gift.
Thank you.
Okay.
Asante sana.
Alafu hiyo siku mkimpata mwambie MVP na maanisha nini?
For real. Na feel sijaelewa, nimeelewa. Nitakutolea piyako. Jamani, nasitamua. Ebu wepeana vote of thanks tumalize.
So, I'm really grateful that you invited me, that we have had this conversation. I know what this means to the design community in Kenya, what this means to both you, Chantel and Mariga. So it's a really great honor to be here. And yeah, it has been fun. I hope I have been resourceful, and I look forward to the other episodes, both for me as a guest and for me as a listener, because I'm always subscribed. Shout out by there to all the previous guests who have been here.
Yay! They're very amazing people. Umewasikia?
Yes, ndio.
Kama wewe si mchache.
I the moment you mentioned it, the first time that I should be here, I was like,
mnaamua tu mseme, mimi niko chini kwa hii game. Sawa,
Hakuna, ni wewe ndio umesema. Ni wewe ndio umesema. Thank you very much. This is Mariga. Hauko chini kwa design. Just level up your game. The fact that you think like that might be like that because it's like that, but labda si hivyo. Career babu. This has been Kenyan Design Conversations, and I have been your host. Thank you so much, our real priest, for coming. Bye.